Hi, everyone. A pleasant good morning to you from Tony'sPicks.com. And this is Night Moves here for Monday, January 5th. And we know the combatants that are heading to the NFL playoffs after Sunday night's action, after Sunday's action altogether there. Pretty fun day of football. You better put a positive spin on it. Wasn't the best football we've seen out there, but did get some thrills and chills there at the end of the night with Baltimore and Pittsburgh and some other results as well. We know our matchups here moving forward in the postseason as well. We know the seedings, we know the times, we know the dates, we know the spreads. So let's get ready to roll here in the NFL playoffs, and gonna have some great matchups there with Denver and Seattle. They get their first round buys, of course, and the matchups: Green Bay at Chicago, Rams at Carolina, 49ers and the Eagles, also Chargers at Patriots, Bills at Jacksonville, and Houston at Pittsburgh. We found out that it'd be Pittsburgh there late last night with their win, of course, in the game there over the Baltimore Ravens. And what a finish there. What a wild finish there between the two teams on Sunday night. Tyler Loop missed a 44-yard field goal on the final play, costing the Ravens the win. It almost looks like a video game the way these guys kick that ball, and it takes a right turn like that, right? We saw just moments earlier the Steelers' Boswell, who had made 89 straight extra points and hadn't missed one in 2 years, missed just his second PAT in 4 seasons, and that opened the door for the Ravens. And all of a sudden, out of nowhere, MVP Lamar showed up. Yeah, I said it. I mean, he was the MVP last year. He shows up there in the final minutes and looks absolutely like the old Lamar, taking him down the field there to get the Baltimore in scoring position. And earlier, too, I mean, Zay Flowers caught those touchdown passes of 50 and 64 yards and get them the lead twice late in the game. The game got drunk, basically. Was heading for a total under. I know I called for an under here yesterday, and it was going under, but no excuses. That game got wild there at the end. 5 lead changes in the fourth quarter. Pittsburgh scored 2 TDs in the final 3 minutes behind Aaron Rodgers, of all things. So Steelers win the AFC North, eliminate Baltimore. Lamar, 238 yards and 2 touchdowns. Derrick Henry, 126 yards. Aaron Rodgers, just 294 yards and 2 touchdowns in the win. And you're in game last night, and it was Baltimore getting the win. DeAndre gave it to us there last night, the win there with Pittsburgh. Obviously, they did get the money in the game there, getting the Pittsburgh getting the win, of course. But DeAndre gave it to us there last night. Pittsburgh 26-24 as the Steelers are headed to the postseason. Say hello to folks in the chat. Thank you for joining me here, and should be a great morning here. Let me see what's going on. Let me put up the date here, the banner and everything, and let you know where we're going. It won't be a long show, that's for sure. We really just have we got some NBA. We got 8 games, NBA, 5 NHL, and try to look at the best in college basketball as well for Monday. I picked a few games out here just to extend the show. I know we could probably do them all if we wanted to, but we'll do a handful of games here as we get ready for the action on Monday night. And also tonight, FCS championship game, little college football championship we saw last night at Wisconsin River Falls. Anybody watched there was a Steeler game too. Final. Exciting. We saw a late game there. Wisconsin River Falls did win the national championship over North Central. How about the kid from North Central? I think he was at Oklahoma State as a quarterback. Didn't like what was going on there. He didn't like the NIL. He didn't like the way things were going in Division I. So he Googled, or I guess now he'd AI it, but he Googled best D3 programs. He ended up at North Central and took them all the way to the championship game, the Stag Bowl, the Amos Alonzo Stag Bowl, won there by River Falls last night. All right, we do want to. I just want to mention we got a short show, so I'm going to talk a little bit of pro football as well, including the other games. First about my Chargers making the playoffs. Pretty pleased about that. They did get whooped by Broncos 19-3 as the Denver clinched the home field advantage. Will Lutz had 4 field goals in a pretty poorly played game. Jaquan Mitchell had a 50-yard touchdown interception run against Trey Lance. Lance was 20 of 44 for 136 yards in rush for 69 yards. Bo Nix was erratic as well. Watch out. Broncos defense had 4 sacks. Chargers finish as that 7 seed. They'll play at New England there, and the Chargers are 3.5-point underdogs against New England. Should mention the Steelers 3-point underdogs at home against the Houston Texans in that one. Man, talk about wild card weekend. Last 2 years out of the 12 games in the last 2 years on wild card weekend, 10 of them were decided by double digits. And that's something just to remember, especially when the Rams are 10-point favorites at Carolina in their matchup in the NFC. The Rams stormed to the finish, blasting the Cardinals. They said they were going to play their starters. They followed up with that promise. Stafford, 260 yards, 4 touchdowns. Puka, 10 receptions, 76 yards. The Rams, 6 sacks, 2 takeaways. They won't be on pause. I think that's the key, right? Sometimes we come out of those playoffs and go, boy, shouldn't arrest those starters. Well, no, they're not. Maybe the Rams lose, but they won't have that as an excuse, as they were able to take care of business there, and they'll face Carolina, total 46.5 in that game. That is the early game. It won't be the Houston Texans, believe it or not, in the early game. I guaranteed my friends, you watch this. Houston will be the first game. They've been the first game every time they played in the playoffs, but they got that Monday nighter now there. So also could take a look at some of the other playoff teams in action. The Packers lost to the Vikings. J.J. McCarthy, 182 yards in the first half. Vikings defense had 4 sacks. The Packers just 34 yards passing. Packers are a pick'em on the road against the Bears. A lot of talk of the Packers just went to 1.5 here late night. At DraftKings, they are 1.5. I think you look everywhere else, they're a pick'em. Even some places have the Bears at -1, but no doubt the biggest book here in the country has the Packers at -1.5. Either way, we're looking at near pick'em odds here in the game where, well, you could still say it. The Packers do still, no matter who's the quarterback, we just look back, Packers do dominate against the Bears, but what will happen this time when they're in Soldier Field? So, all right, also the Jaguars, Trevor Lawrence in a 41-7 win, 255 yards and 3 touchdowns. The Jags 13-4, defense on point, ready to go. One of the top teams in the AFC. The Jaguars are a pick'em, or actually most spots have the Bills, a 1-point favorite on the road. Here's a Bills team that couldn't get anything done on the road this year. Lost games by double digits on the road, and here they are, a 1-point favorite over arguably the hottest team in football, the Jacksonville Jaguars. Do they just revert back? They just turn on a switch like that? Josh Allen is going to be able to make these receivers here into all-stars and take them down there and beat Trevor Lawrence and these Jaguars. Wow, I've been surprised to see that point spread like it is, but you do have the best player, I guess, there in Josh Allen. The Bills will uh, be in there. Of course, Trubisky played today, 260 yards and 4 touchdowns after Allen came out in the lopsided Bills win over the Jets, and the Jets finished 3-14. Talking about those Bears, they did lost to the Lions 19-16. Bates 4 field goals for the Lions in that one. Goff 331 yards, touchdown, interception. Caleb Williams 215 yards, but 2 touchdowns. Wasn't a great game. I thought it would be a little more high scoring for sure, but it was Bears losing to the Lions. Also, Patriots finished strong. They will take on my Chargers, favored by 3.5 in the playoff game, total 46. The Patriots, Ramondre Stevenson was in postseason form with 140 yards and 3 touchdowns. Drake May, 190 yards and a touchdown for the Patriots. Looking pretty strong here right now. My Chargers, man, remember they lost big time on the road last year. Doesn't look real positive here coming into this one for the Chargers. Eagles get the win Eagles lose to Washington. Philly rested their starters because they are so confident in their position. They don't even want a second home game, a team that they could have beaten, but they decided to go with a third string quarterback, Tanner McKee, in that game, even benching their second string quarterback to go up against Josh Johnson, a game that the Eagles probably could have easily won, but maybe the strategy was to purposefully lose the game. They were trying there at the end, so why did they decide all of a sudden that they wanted to win the game? Was it only after the fact that they figured out that they could get the number 2 seed? Maybe they didn't even know. Maybe they didn't realize it. Could the Eagles be that dumb and not realize that they could have won the number 2 seed with a series of events like had happened with the Bears losing and the Eagles winning? They could have got that number 2 seed and possibly host a home game in the second round as well. I mean, it doesn't make any sense. So why wouldn't you want that home game against the Chicago Bears or whatever it was going to shake out to be there if you are the Philadelphia Eagles home game there against Chicago in the second round? Why wouldn't you do that? This team's already caught up to you. It doesn't make any sense. It feels like they might have made a mistake and didn't realize it, because why else would you do that? Yes, maybe they feel like once they get to that point, look, if the Bears win and the Eagles win, the Eagles will play Seattle and the Bears will play the Niners. Maybe that's the matchup that they were looking for, but it doesn't really make much sense to me what the Eagles were thinking there, not trying to take a home game in the postseason when all they had to do was beat the Washington Generals, and what these guys are playing like, because they can't win, and they were able to beat Philadelphia. There as Philadelphia rested their veterans. Josh Johnson, my man, he's got commercials, 131 yards and a touchdown. Tanner McKee did throw for 241 yards in that one. All right, let me say hello to the folks in the chat. Get your reactions in response to the playoffs. Mr. Weskers is here today. LALB. He had Gainwell for that anytime touchdown. He also took the Raiders. And Mr. Weskers says the Giants, the Jaguars, Aaron Rodgers. Here, Cal Dog, hello. LALB talking his Sunday night action as well. Good salutations from everyone in the chat. Timmy Two Shoes here ready to go as well. These are the crew here right now in this one. Did the Ravens kicker? I mean, there's no doubt if the situation didn't go down like it did, Justin Tucker would have been in there, but we had some legal issues, and Loop had a good season. He's not a Hall of Famer like Justin Tucker, or is Justin Tucker not going to into the Hall of Fame now? I don't know. But also, let's see here, Phoenix money line there. Yeah, we took Phoenix there in that basketball game last night. And Mr. Westwood said, am I not giving Aaron Rodgers enough love here in this one? Hey, I was on the Steelers yesterday. I know we had the total. We we whipped on the total here on Night Moves, but like I said, DeAndre gave us the Steelers there, and I was on the Steelers. If you caught me on some other shows, Detroit Magic, and Miami, some basketball action. Hello to Charles B in there. Good to see Charles. Good morning from Atlanta. Good call here. Let's cover the breaking news of Atlanta firing both. It's clean house time, which is surprising, right, Charles? Because we know that Arthur Blank is known to be very loyal to his hires, but he fires both Raheem Morris and the general manager last night. So, real tough break there. We'll see what Atlanta does here. They were playing really well. It's funny. You'd think that they played well enough actually to maybe save his job. Could Matt Ryan come in? You're going to see more. It feels like to me more players being named general managers here. We know like San Francisco has a great Hall of Famer and John Lynch there, but Teflon Don, look at that. His brother is on University of Wisconsin River Falls, and they were terrific in that game. I think they actually trailed there at the beginning for a while. It was 7-3 or 7-0 or something. The Rams to destroy Carolina, says Timmy. Oh, yeah, River Falls. What a program, huh? They play some other sports well, right? Aren't they good in wrestling, too, and some women's sports as well? All right. Could it be too cold for the Texans there? Pittsburgh did get the home game. That's what you get when you win the division. Cincinnati, Eagles, Dallas are terrible. Thanks for all your comments. We're going to get started, but I know we all got a lot of opinions here right now with the playoffs coming up. Can the Chargers get over the hump? No, I don't know, LALB. I will say this. I said it on another show earlier tonight. If you had to look at the field, I guess the one opponent, if you're the Chargers, it does feel like they do match up best against the Patriots. I just don't know if it's going to be quite in there right now. I don't know if they are going to have enough here, maybe even to cover here. So maybe I'm just Debbie Downer. When it comes to my Chargers, stoked that they made this kind of progress. I mean, they should be getting better. I think they're a team on the way up, but so are the Patriots, obviously, here right now. And did we give out all the game times there with the matchups there? Do you need to know them? You already know them there, but Saturday, Rams and Panthers in that 4:30 Eastern slot. Packers and Bears on the late game, 8 o'clock Eastern on Saturday. Sunday, 1 p.m., Bills and Jaguars in that early game. 4:30 Eastern, 49ers and the Eagles, and then the Chargers are in the primetime game there at 8:15 Eastern. Could it be cold there? Also, don't forget, the Chargers definitely want to be warm weather. And on Monday night, it's the Texans and the Steelers. It says, and that's what Timmy was talking about. Will there be bad weather there in that one? All right. Let's see here. Anything? A sports fan? Hello. Thank you. And let's see. He says, sports fan says he watched the red zone, the last game, the Super Bowl Seahawks. Let's see, last game. Let me tell you, Super Bowl is Seahawks to lose, says sports fan. Awesome. Thank you. Yep. Seahawks, they're in great position here. They worked hard to get that seeding, so we'll see. Greg Gibson here as well. Thank you, Greg. And let's see what else. Thank you guys for the great comments. And maybe Mr. Wesker's all those years standing on the high school sidelines. Maybe that's where I've learned the penchant for the game a little bit. I like to watch the linemen too. All right. Vrabel here, Mr. Wesker, Vrabel, Harbaugh, and Vrabel in that matchup there. That was a crazy stat, sports fan. To think that not only that, they gave up, what was it, 46 touchdowns? That was almost like Lamar Jackson's stats last year. Remember Lamar, what is he, 44 touchdowns and 4 interceptions? Well, the Jets this season gave up 46 touchdowns and had no interceptions. How about that? All right, Mr. Wesker did take the Chargers. Oh, I hope they can do it, man. Hey, do you want to say hello to Jared Cunningham in the chat as well? And talked about that final there in the game in that game between the Vikings and the Packers. Yeah, I guess we got lucky here. I won't say lucky. DeAndre gave us Minnesota last night. He actually gave it to us minus 10.5. And it went up, of course, to 12.5 there at post time. There was a lot of action, right? A lot of action moving there late on the betting board. We did have some other winners here on night moves. Last night, DeAndre gave us the Indianapolis Colts there yesterday. He also gave us the Cleveland Browns in that win. Dion and I had some winners here as well on the show. Not as many as DeAndre, I don't think. DeAndre gave us also uh, uh, New Orleans over the Falcons. I had the winner on the under in that one last night. I also had Tennessee and Jacksonville over here on the show last night. And uh, I had the Kansas City Las Vegas game to go under last night here on the show. DeAndre gave you the Raiders in that one, and also Detroit Chicago. DeAndre gave you Detroit in that one. He also gave you Buffalo here as well for a winner. So some winners here on the show last night. All right. We're going to get right to it here right now and talk a little NBA basketball for Monday. I think that's kind of our featured coverage. I'd love to talk a little more uh, Super Bowl here and maybe some of the picks. Who do you like to win the Super Bowl, gang? You already telling me about some plays you guys have there in the chat, maybe on the futures market there a little bit. The Rams and the Seahawks are both the favorites here. They're both holding this pretty much the same odds between about 4 and 5 to 1. Then you have the Broncos at 7 to 1 or so. The Eagles are maybe 9 to 1. Bills, the Patriots 10 to 1 right now. The Texans at 12 to 1. How about the Jacksonville Jaguars at 16 to 1? I don't think you can go anywhere else on this board but to the Jacksonville Jaguars actually at 16 to 1. It seems almost comical, those odds right now, right? I mean, yes, you'd have to get past the NFC team. Maybe you look at the AFC where the Jacksonville Jaguars are 6 to 1 behind teams like the Bills, their opponent, the Patriots. Great year for the Patriots, but Jacksonville here, 16 to 1 to win the bowl, 6 to 1 to win the championship. I don't think there's anywhere else you could really look on this board. Objectively, I'm not saying they're the best team. I'm not saying they're going to win, but I think if you look at the odds here, the way Jacksonville is playing right now, sure. Do we have questions? Can Trevor Lawrence ever get over the hump? Will he choke it? Will they fumble in the right? Well, whatever. I just think if you look at the overall body of work this year, sure, maybe it's a weaker schedule too. It feels like 16 to 1 does feel like the price to go with. Niners are 20 to 1 still. Remember, I hold the ticket on them at 15 to 1, so I didn't get the best price there. You also have the Bears 18 to 1, Green Bay 18 to 1, Chargers 30 to 1, Steelers 55 to 1, and the Panthers. Maybe it's the Panthers, right, at 200 to 1. Okay. Here we go. Let's take a look now at the action here for Monday. Well, let me try to make sure I do my job here, what they uh, have me here for. Let me take a look at Tony'sPicks.com, where we have our premium picks, absolutely our best picks every day. Over at Tony's Picks, you can use the promo code TonyT at checkout to save 15% off those premium pick packages. Well, I hit some props here last night in the late game as I had Kenneth Gainwell over 63.5 rushing and receiving for my win there. And also I had MVS in his matchup over 27.5 receiving yards. Oh man, I did go with Mark Andrews over 3.5 receptions. Did he really only finish with 3? I know one, I think he had one called back in there, but Mark Andrews left me just short of a 3-0 night on the props here at Tony's Picks. Remember, that's part of our program here now is these NFL prop plays, and you can get those plays. I'll be in action in the postseason for sure with the props. And last night, what did Mark Andrews? He only had 2 receptions in the game. Oh, come on, Andrews. That might have been the difference. Head on over to Tony'sPicks.com, take a look at the handicapper leaderboards and see who's hot. Let's take a look and see who was hot here on Sunday. Take a look at the leaderboard there. You got Bittler, Mr. Bittler, 5-0, continuing his great run to start the season here. You have Alessandro, Vegas Al. You saw his show here before our show. Won his only play. Chris Adkins up there, 2-0. Tony T won his only play. Also, Solo with his winner in there as well. And you got some other winners. DeAndre had a couple of winners there on Sunday as well. So DeAndre remains hot. Take a look at what he's up to here. And a good run here for DeAndre. Let's see what he had. He had the Lions as his pick, and he had Canisius, which he gave you right here on the show last night. If you're paying attention, you get a free winner right there. Something he charges $25 for. He got it for free right here. Hey, go over to Tony'sPicks.com. Use the promo code TonyT at checkout. Save 15%. Click on the All Cappers tab. Find the handicapper of your choice. Click on their handicapper profile page, and that's how you get signed up over at Tony's Picks. All right. Good on you, everyone. Now we can get going here, I think. Let me see. I can't stall much longer. Let's get going with the show. Talk about the action here on Monday night. Maybe the football game is the stay tuned. I'll give you a pick on the FCS championship game on Monday night. But let's roll here with the NBA and take a look at this 8-game card on a Monday night with the Knicks taking on the Pistons. Here in this one, the Knicks are favored by 3. Total 234.5 here with this one. You got the Knicks coming in here 23-12 right now. Pretty good matchup here. It feels like the matchup of the night with the Knicks on the road, but they have lost 3 straight here right now. Losses here to San Antonio, Atlanta, and Philadelphia last time out. 130-119 a couple of nights ago, laying 3.5 at home. So Knicks were a hot cover at home. They're starting to give them all back here all of a sudden. They have not been covering much. Detroit, meanwhile, is off of a win yesterday on the road at Cleveland. So they will be on the back-to-back here with this one. Yesterday is Detroit. Hey, we gave them we had the total here on the show. Total under was a winner yesterday as the Pistons were able to get it done there in that one in the 114-110 victory over the Cleveland Cavaliers. So we'll see if that affects you here with your plays, with them being on the back-to-back here right now. The Knicks are just 1-9 against the spread their last 10 games overall, despite the fact that they've won 14 of their last 20 games coming into this one. Detroit's covered 4 of the last 6 meetings between the two. Detroit's also gone over in 5 of their last 6 games coming into this one. For Detroit, they've won 12 of their last 14 games at home right now, including 9 of their last 13 overall. Detroit just 2-4 though, ATS in their last 6 games. They've gone under in 7 of their last 10 games here. So first meeting of the season between these two teams. Detroit has been a terrific underdog so far. 6-1 ATS as a dog. The Knicks are just 5-11 ATS on the road here. So maybe the Knicks have the heads-up advantage a little bit. But again, you look at the Detroit right now. Look, they're not underdogs for this team. We talked about it, how they've been favored so many times this season when, coming in, sure, I think we were expecting them to finish over 500, maybe even over 500 by several games, maybe by a handful of games. I don't know if we saw this coming, and maybe the odds makers did because they've been favored in 25 games this season, underdogs in just 7 games here. So let's see what you have. But I don't think I can not take the Detroit Pistons here. I mean, the Knicks can't cover anything right now, and they're having trouble even winning some of these games with this losing streak. So yeah, a team that's covered just one of their last 10 games, coming in against a team that's 6-1, ATS at home, playing well here like the Detroit Pistons. Let's go to the chat and see what you guys have in this one. But I got to take the Detroit Pistons even before I hear from the chat so I don't get swayed. And I'm sure I think you guys might feel the same way. Now, Jalen Duren is out of this game still with that turned ankle. He missed the last one, so he's a pretty important player. 18 points, 10 rebounds per game here. And LeVert, he's questionable as well. Nobody answered my question. Does anybody know any LeVert songs? All right, here we go. Let's take a look at the chat. See what you got in this one. And Mr. Wester says he's got Detroit on the money line. Greg says Detroit should win this one. But I think, yeah, he likes Detroit to win it. And Mr. Westbrook says they continue to be underrated. Probably is what he's and overvalued. That is, I think that's right on with that observation a little bit. Does feel like there are games they have struggled, where the games where they're more like right to Mr. Westbrook's the ones where they end up like a 10-point favorite against some also ran team. And that's not always a bad thing, right? If you can pace yourself and not have to extend or I don't know. I mean, maybe you can win a game easy, but maybe there are times when you pace yourself a little bit. Maybe you don't have to get a blowout win. Maybe it does save your legs a little bit. Thank you, LALB, for your Super Bowl preview in there. Cal Dog, though, he might be the Knicks money line right now. He's going to buy him down. I think he likes the Knicks in this one. Look, they need to bounce back and find a spot here right now. We know the Knicks have a pretty steady offense for sure. You got 2 of the top 5 scoring offenses in this game. Well, let me take that back. The Pistons are probably top 10, but all right. Let's see. LALB on the over here in this one. Knicks money line and over for hey, Andre's here. Cat over in his points and rebounds with no Duran in the game. Duran in the game and OG over in his points. Pistons have good cohesion. Mr. Wesker's not a Mike Brown fan. I guess that Coach of the Year bet I made was probably not the best. And they're back to looking like their old Knicks all of a sudden, right? I mean, how does that happen? Just like all of a sudden there. All right, Mr. Weskers with his plays. Let's see here. All right, there we go. Here come the LeVert songs. I love that. Cal Dog says, which one? Yeah, you know me, Cal Dog. You and me, we're going back old school, right? We're going Gerald, right? All right, you guys got some good songs in there, man. Awesome. Okay. Another good one, LALP, no doubt. Yeah, that was a good quiz. Yeah, you know what? I attract the crowd that I want here. All right. I think there's a method to that. A demographic that watches me, right? And they all knew what I was talking about. All right, that's gonna do it for that one. Hey, I'll take the Pistons here. I got to take the Pistons in this one. All right, I would have showed the songs on the screen, but I don't know if it fits. I don't know if it fits the theme of the show that they've asked me to do here. But I appreciate you guys. All right, let's go now to the Bulls and the Celtics here. What is Jason Tatum playing or something here? All of a sudden, I know the Bulls have struggled and the Celtics are looking a lot better here. The line may have gone down to 10.5 or so right now. Total here, 234. Maybe it's gone up a little bit. No. Yeah. Well, this is a sharp book. I'm seeing just a little bit higher at some of the other books right now. Maybe we can call it 234.5, but even seeing a little bit higher than that at some of the books here. It is the Boston Celtics that are, well, they're pretty hot right now. They're playing well. They've won 3 in a row here, and it's even been stronger than that here of late right now for the Celtics. I mean, it feels like they're, I know without Tatum, they're not going to get all the way back going here, but man, the Celtics team all of a sudden is 22-12. The Bulls are 17-18 here because of their struggles. Boston's won 7 of their last 8 games, 6 of their last 7 at home, and they've covered 4 out of their last 5 games overall. They're in a role here that suits them pretty well. But should mention the Bulls are among the best underdog bets in the league so far this season with a 14-4 underdog record. However, a lot of those have come at home. On the road, they're just 8-8 against the spread overall. It's actually been when they've been in a role as a home dog that has benefited them. Uh, Boston has won 5 of the last 6 meetings between the two teams here in Boston. Chicago's just 2-5 against the spread in their last 7 against the Celts. The Bulls have still won 7 of their last 10 overall, but really the 3 losses have been in the last 5 games. Before that, they were on a 5-game winning streak, but then they lost to Milwaukee, lost to Minnesota. They lost last game to Charlotte at home, 112-99, and didn't look good. Chicago's gone 7-3 against the spread in their last 10 games. The 3 games I just mentioned are the ones they did not cover, and they've gone under in 5 of their last 7 games overall. So see what you got here. The numbers aren't terrible. The Bulls might be in their best position. It's just this is a pretty good matchup for Boston here, but maybe could be too many points here. The way the Bulls have at least competed against the spread as an underdog, it's gonna be hard to kind of overlook a 14-4 spread record, especially when the Bulls. We might say that they've lost it here, but again, they have covered 7 of their last 10, as if they've kind of reeled it back in a little bit after. We know Giddey got hurt in there. That kind of hurt them as well here. He's still out. Meanwhile, Kobe White, he's questionable as well. Jalen Smith is out. So maybe those injury factors are the main factors here in this one, and that's why the Celtics are such a big favorite. But man, it seems pretty tough to maybe want to back them here. Let's see what you got in the chat with this matchup. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Having a great night here tonight on Night Moves. All right. Let's see here. Mr. 4600. Yeah, there's no doubt. I might have been a bit of an R&B fan back there when I was young. All right. Let's see here. Mr. Wesker's going to take the Bulls here, laying these points with the Celtics. Not that great, right? Brown, hey, let's not bury the lead, right? Mr. Wesker's Jaylen Brown, hottest thing going here in the NBA with that 50-point game. And really, there's some great MVP candidates. We know who they are, right? We got Jokic and Wembanyama in there. I don't know who else you want to throw in there. SGA for sure, but you gotta just at least you gotta mention Jaylen Brown. If you don't mention Brown, not really paying attention. It feels like this run for Brown has been really good and showing just what he does, right? Especially when we've seen him before, even before Tatum's big injury, when Tatum had been out or whatever, because we know Tatum isn't a 82-game player or anything. Brown has always been there, and he's been there in the key moments. This guy was the most, might be underrated, really, in the NBA. I think everybody knows he's a superstar, but all right, let's see here. Greg likes this one. He says maybe the Celtics can get that cover, but I think he likes the under a little bit more here in this one. And Brown might score 50 in every game. He makes it look so effortless. Too many points here, though, maybe for the Celtics. Mr. 4600 also. Andre says Celtics win, but don't cover and an over. He says maybe White can be in there tomorrow. That would be great. I think I agree with that, Andre. I think White actually will make this lineup tomorrow. I agree. And Greg says he's got Boston to win it there. And he's got the over. Oh, I don't know. I mean, when Greg changes, when you change the number, what does that mean, actually? One of them is a projection and one of them is your pick or something like that. You always tell us remember the score, but you give us two scores. Okay, LALB likes the under here. And Boston, they're getting serious here, maybe Greg says, right? Yeah, maybe. And let's see here. Brown over there, but Timmy said I was going to go Brown under in that one. All right. Yeah. So see what you guys do here. I'll give out my pick, and with the Bulls here and the Celts here in this
Final.
one. Oh, I think you guys got all of your plays in there as well. Okay, great. Thanks, Greg. Yeah, well, I hope I'm not showing the wrong. I just feel like am I showing the wrong prediction on there is what it feels like. Maybe you're giving me what I'm supposed to be uh, uh, showing on the screen and then a different pick. So I don't want to confuse anybody. Thank you for helping me there. All right. Bulls and Celtics here in this one. Like I said, yeah, the Bulls doing a pretty good job here. Giddy is important, but I got to take the points here with the Bulls in this one as well. Like I said, 14-4. I think the Bulls have done a decent enough job. Sure, they went into a slump there after they had won a bunch of games and made them look like, and again, they're a game under 500 right now. Let's face it. But they've been covering here. I think that's a good sign. Next up, the Atlanta Hawks are at the Toronto Raptors again here. These two teams will meet. They just met here 2 days ago, and it was 134 to 117. Toronto got the win at home. They were 5.5-point favorites, and now they're playing again here in the same venue. Coming in, Atlanta did win. Toronto did win two other meetings this season at Atlanta, so they've already up on them 3-0 here this year. And not only that, they covered the spread in all three of those games. In fact, if you look at the matchup between the two teams, Atlanta has lost and failed 5 straight games to Toronto coming into this one. Could say though, I mean, obviously they're playing them right back. So maybe there's a little bit to that anyway, even though, Toronto, the better team here at 21-15, Atlanta 17-20 coming in. Atlanta's a good underdog. They're a good road dog, period. They're 12-8 on the road against the spread, 13-7 as a dog ATS. Meanwhile, Toronto pretty much the opposite, 7-12 against the spread at home and 18-14 against the spread as a favorite. But they do own the season series against Atlanta. That might be worth enough here if favored just 3.5 this time. I think maybe the fact that they're playing again has made the spread a little bit closer. Last time it was 5.5. Podol, he's still out. Luke Kennard, questionable. Trae Young, he is officially out of this game. So is Validante. KP is probable here in this one for Atlanta. Maybe let's see what you got though with these.
Final.
With these two, Atlanta has been a pretty steady over so far this season. They are 13-7 to the over on the road, but Toronto is 8-14 to the under as a favorite. And Toronto's gone under in 8 of their last 11 games coming into this one. Let's see what you have here with Atlanta taking on Toronto here
Final.
on Monday. All right, Mr. Westwood doesn't even own a bet on Toronto. Here's Greg here with the projection, I believe, here. Yeah, so these are the projections that are right on. They're usually the same. I think Greg just takes the line and figures it out for us. All right, Raptors for the sweep, says Cal Dog, and they're playing better with RJ in there. Gotcha. Raptors win but don't cover. Johnson over in his points and assists. LALB is liking the under in this one at 236. All right. Man, Toronto does seem to own Atlanta right now, and I'm going to have to stick with them here and take Toronto to cover this lower number here. And look, maybe there's something, you play the same team in the same city. seen that a few times already this season, and yeah, you maybe consider it could help you out, right? To see the same team again, but it is five in a row here, 5-0 with five covers for Toronto right now. I'll take them to do it one more time. And yeah, I think Porzingis. I think Porzingis is in here in this one, listed here. So okay, he's probable. All right, next up, the Suns and the Rockets here in a pretty good matchup, huh? With the Suns coming in. This line has been moving here right now, but it is, I believe, still 8.5. It was 7.5 though, so a little bit of a move to the Rockets here. Total 224. Both teams with strong records here. Phoenix is 21-14. Houston 21-11. But Houston did just lose last time out to snap their winning streak as they got dropped by Dallas. Hey, we had Dallas in that one. We even said sprinkle the money line here on the show. But before that, they were on a winning streak, but they lost to Dallas 110-104 at Dallas. Meanwhile, for Phoenix, did get that win last night over OKC. Now, you do have to consider they are on the back-to-back, but at least they're at home, and they've been playing really well, obviously. Or I say they're on the road. So they won at home last night. Got to come on the road here to Houston. It's a little bit. That might be a little bit of an issue as well as they played. Phoenix is 11-7 though against the spread on the road. They've covered here 8 of their last 10 games overall right now. In fact, 8 of their last 9 they've covered coming into this one. Phoenix has won 6 of 7 coming in. Houston, meanwhile, has won 4 of their last 5 games. If the loss was that last one to Dallas, they've been covering pretty well here over the last few games, but long term, actually, last 12 games, Houston's just 4-8 against the spread, actually. Houston's gone under in 4 of their last 5 overall. Phoenix has gone under in 4 of their last 6, and the series has gone under in 6 of the last 8 meetings between the two. They've already met twice this season. Both games did go under. Houston won them both, obviously, because Phoenix is just 1-7 against the spread in their last 8 games against the Houston Rockets. Houston won here back on December 5th, 117-98, laying 9.5, and they won at Phoenix 114-92 back in November, laying 6.5. So, yeah, pretty good matchup here, maybe for the Rockets. The Rockets are just 6-6 against the spread at home, 16-14 against the spread as a favorite. So let's see what you have here, though, in this one with the Rockets here. Considerable favorite right now. I've seen it is moved down to 8, actually, at a few books. Alperen Sengun is out of this game for the Rockets still with that ankle injury. Steven Adams is questionable as well. So a little bit of missing there in the middle for the Rockets here. For Phoenix right now, they continue to play so good. This is a big spread considering Phoenix is playing so well. It's just that, having to beat the Thunder. I know it'd be something to celebrate and really be excited about, but I think Phoenix knows how good they are right now, and maybe they wouldn't get too overhyped after winning that game. And yeah, did we call the money line here a little bit on the show last night? We did. DeAndre had him as well. And let's go to the chat, see what you have with this one. And should be a good one here, huh? All right, I think we're seeing the plays come in here. And Mr. Westwood says, that was a close game. You'd think it would be Rockets against the spread, but without the defense here, Phoenix is tired, says Greg, and he's got us a 10-point win there and an over there, it looks like. Timmy liking the Rockets. The Suns, certainly that was a big win last night. That's probably going to affect them a little bit. You got to get on a plane now and come beat Houston. Greg says Houston just beat them by 15 points. Yeah, they did, or by 19, I think. Cal Dog likes it over. Andre's got play in here. Rockets money line, but the Suns will cover. The Suns just won against OKC there last night. Sengun over. Sengun's going to miss this game for sure. Booker over. And yeah, all right. LALB here, liking the over in this one. Greg says Houston owns them, and they're just more rested here. Cal Dog, Rockets first half, and Andre says the Rockets with that rest advantage. And Connor Gillespie with 4 threes there, play with the Suns. All right, you guys are pretty hard there, I think, on the feels like a lot of Rocket support. I better take a total in this one. Give me the under with Phoenix and Houston. I'll take the under 223.5 here with these two. Just to cover a little, I did cover a little bit on that total, but Phoenix trends a little bit under here of late. Last night's game against OKC did go well under. They are a little bit of an over as a road dog, but I'm going to take the under here with Phoenix and Houston. All right, the Hornets are on the road taking on the Thunder. Now, will the Thunder be all mad? Now, they played last night. Won't that affect them here a little bit coming in? I mean, just because they lost, would that make them hungrier here coming into this one? For the Charlotte Hornets here, look, Charlotte here won their last game against the Bulls. They've actually covered 3 in a row right now. Not awful. Remember, we always try to figure out, we know what the hard part is, right? We've got to figure out how they do, how the Thunder is going to do when laying 15 points. Here it is. It's 16. We know it's usually like 8 or 9 or 15 or 16, right? Depends on if they're home or away or something like that anyway. So let's hear it from you guys in this one with the Charlotte and Oklahoma City. Now, here's the thing. So you try to figure out, is it too much? When's it going to be too much? Which situations? Here you have the Thunder, just played last night. The Hornets coming off a win, having covered 3 straight. The Hornets have lost the last 5 games to Charlotte. They've also covered 8 straight against them until the last 2 games, and both of them were this year. They've already played 3 times this year, but Oklahoma City won and covered 109-96 last time at Charlotte, laying 17.5. That was too many points, although they only won by 13. And then OKC won 122-116 at OKC as a 10-point favorite. When they were favored early in the season by just 3.5 on the road there, it was a Oklahoma City cover. But here we are dealing with a 15 now again, and that's what it feels like when Oklahoma City starts to get, especially a team that has shown the penchant to be able to cover against them. Charlotte had covered 8 straight games before the last 2 games there, or let's see if I have it right. I think, let's see. No, Oklahoma City failed. So Charlotte covered those 2 as well. Yeah, it just says 17.5 there. All right, it's been a long day of football. But nonetheless, they've covered 8 of the last 10 overall against OKC. Charlotte's gone under in 13 of their last 19. The Thunder have gone under in 6 of their last 9 games overall. Charlotte's 11-19 to the under as an underdog. However, 4 of the last 6 meetings between these 2 teams have gone over. Remember, they only meet a few times here during the season. So, all right, let's see what you guys have here in this one between Charlotte and Oklahoma City. I'll go to the chat. Let's see here. I'll look something up here. Sorry about the thumping. Okay, here we go. Okay, here we go. Got a lot of comments in this one. Here we are. All right. Greg says, is there projection here? The Thunder there. That's a projection. I think if you just break it down, that's a 14-point game. Too many points, says Cal Dog. Hornets could be live here. LALB says Hornets first half plus points. Hornets money line for Mr. Weskers. Could SGA just end up sitting here at the end? Just look at his minutes in these other blowout games too, especially on the back-to-back, right? Thunder, it's the Thunder that are traveling, right? Good point, Greg. I mean, sometimes the visiting team beats you into your own town. Oklahoma City wins but doesn't cover. I'm sure that's what that happens here. That happened here, right? Hornets money line were the shot. Shea under. And too many points. The Hornets got those shooters. And let's see here. Is someone sitting for the Thunder because Charlotte is not good? Is that what Greg is saying there? Forward Jalen Williams questionable, Hartenstein questionable, Usman Dang questionable as well. Hornets Salon questionable, Diabate questionable, Kalkbrenner out. Brandon Miller is in. All right. And Andre says maybe take the Hornets live in there. All right. And that's going to do it for me here in this one. And I'll do it too. I'm going to take the Hornets plus 15.5 here in this one. I'll try Charlotte to hang in there. I think the numbers indicate that they, definitely can have a chance here to stay within 15 or so with this, Thunder playing yesterday. Okay, here we go. Next up. All right, the Denver Nuggets taking on the Philadelphia 76ers here. Denver trying to get by without Jokic right now. It is a problem, obviously, here. The spreads are affected. I know everyone talks about players affecting the line when someone's out. I'm not sure any player affects their team's line more than this guy. I mean, here they are an 11.5-point underdog right now. They did cover 13.5 the other night at Cleveland. They lost that one by just 5. So see what you want to do here. Philadelphia has covered 7 of their last 10 games overall. They're 11-6 against the spread as a favorite, although they're just one game sub 500 ATS at home. But, as a favorite, that's when Philadelphia has been at their best. However, Philadelphia just 3-8 against the spread at home in their last 11 games right now. Denver comes in here having lost 4 out of their last 5. They've actually beaten Philadelphia in 4 of their last 5 games, but have gone 1-5 against the spread against them. Usually they're favored by too many points, but that's a different scenario here right now. So you got to approach it obviously a little bit differently. Denver's gone over in 15 of their last 20 games coming in. Philadelphia, meanwhile, has gone over in 5 of their last 7 games coming in. How will it affect the total without Jokic in the lineup? Because these are obviously you'd have to say over teams for sure. Denver's 13-7 to the over on the road. However, since Jokic has gone out, they've gone under, and they went under in the first 2 games, including under in that game against Cleveland. So maybe if that's any indication, because Cleveland was a 13.5-point favorite, and it did go under in that one. Now at Brooklyn, when Denver was just a slight favorite, and they ended up losing that game by 22 points to Brooklyn. It did go well over. So Denver has been on the road a long, not only is, Jokic injured, but this is a long road trip here. We're actually, these guys have been on the road here since Christmas. So see what you got here in this one. I think the defense is running out of fuel, and I'm going to probably go over in this game. All right, Nuggets should cover here, says Timmy. not laying points for is Mr. Weskers. If the Nets can win, the Sixers can win. Andre says 76ers, no joker, but no bet. Braun and Gordon returning. Going to take them in a minute to win, get back in the swing of things, and Harden to hit his threes. Yeah, that's been a good sign here for sure for uh, uh, Denver right now to get all those players back, especially with Valanciunas now out here currently. For the Sixers, Embiid is probable in this game. I'll take the over in this one with Denver and Philly today. I'm concerned that that's similarly lined game, but again, they give 127 points here to the Brooklyn Nets. That might be a problem. Nuggets here for LALV. Phillies, Greg says the bench isn't that bad. Mr. Westwood says Embiid's been busy. Edge coming Maxey to go over. Nuggets through the back door, says Mr. Weskers. Denver money line here for Timmy. And Greg says, what happened in that Brooklyn and Denver game, right? I mean, hey, we had the winner here on Night Moves. We went with the over yesterday as our pick. So, hey, Dat Kush King is here. He likes the Sixers. All right, we're making nice progress here on this card on Night Moves. Let's go to the Jazz taking on the Blazers. Here in this one, you've got the Blazers favored at home, 6.5 total, 245.5 Utah. Losers of 3 straight coming in to Boston, to the Clippers, and they did lose to Golden State by 7, but they at least got the money in that one. Portland, meanwhile, comes in here with a record of 16-20. They, however, have won 2 straight and have been pretty good here of late, actually. Portland's actually making a little bit of noise in these last couple of games. Portland's won 4 of their last 5 games overall coming into this one. However, Utah is just 14 and 4-16 on the road straight up, dating back to last season. They're currently 4-11 straight up on the road this season. Utah has covered 7 straight games against the Portland Trailblazers right now. So a little bit of a matchup, especially here with Portland just 4-9 against the spread as a favorite in this one. And Utah, look, like I said, they won a couple of games against Detroit and San Antonio. Things were looking good. They did lose to Boston and the Clippers, both pretty good teams now. I think the Clippers were ready to kind of start to put them in at least the mediocre category despite their record, and lost to Golden State, but did cover that spread. So I got to take Utah. It seems like they got a pretty fine matchup here against this team. They obviously have covered these games against these guys, and they play 4 times a year. They met back in October, and it was 136-134. Portland got the win at Utah in that game. So high scoring game there for sure. You got to think this one could be another high scoring game given what we see from these two teams this season. You got Portland 10-3 to the over as a favorite. Utah 18-12 to the over as a dog, and 6 of the last 7 meetings between these two teams have gone over. I will caution you that Portland has gone under in 8 of their last 9 games overall. But again, they were a dog in a lot of those games as a favorite. They usually go over. This is a high total, though, 245.5. Let's see what you got in this one. I want to say thank you, everybody, for joining me here on Night Moves. All right. And Jazz should cover, says Dakush King. And good to see R. Cliff in the chat today. Nice to see you in there, R. Cliff. And Mr. Westwood says, yeah, I mean, the Jazz, they did look good in that Golden State game. They were hanging in there. All right, Greg gives us the lowdown here a little bit. I think he's got Utah there and maybe an under. Yep, that's what he said. Cow Dog on the under here as well. Andre says Blazers money line. Utah covers Avija over in his points, and George over on his points. Jazz for LALB. I think I'm with the Jazz there. And he says, I can't believe that the Jazz beat the Spurs in that game, right? That's the Jazz for you. I know that one was on the road, so it was a little different because they haven't really played that great on the road. They're just Jazz coming here just 6-9 on the road, ATS. But like I said, Portland 4-9 as a favorite against the spread. I mean, that has to be considered. They not being a good favorite. All right. Sprinkle the money line on Utah. One more, guys, and that's going to be it for the. I've lost the panel for this game. Where's it at? All right. I'll just have to type it again. I think I deleted it on accident. Warriors at Clippers here. There we go. Got a good producer that can handle it. Whoops. There we go. Warriors and Clippers here. NBA action, wrapping it up on a Monday night at the Intuit Dome. Got the Warriors coming in here. I don't know. What are they? Don't they know? Don't the odds makers know who these Clippers are at this point? I mean, I know we're taking on the Warriors here and all, but the Warriors do come in 19-17. Clippers just 12-22, but it does feel like the Clippers have fixed things. I guess they could start to go south at any moment. These guys are psychos. They just lost by 31 points at home to Boston, and I thought the Clippers were going to win that game over Boston. So, yeah, it was a little bit of a clunker after that long winning streak the winning streak that the Clippers had here. Golden State just has won 6 of their last 8 games coming into this one. They're off of a win over Utah, but they failed to cover in 3 straight despite wins over Charlotte, and Utah did not cover. They also lost to OKC when they mailed that one in, remember. For the Clippers here, they've won and covered 6 of their last 7 until that game against Boston. They were on a 6-game winning streak. Clippers are 5-1 at home in their last 6 games overall, a far cry from their 6-11 overall spread at home, and they're just 5-12 against the spread as a favorite. But like I said, it does feel like things maybe have changed a little bit. For the Warriors here, they're just 1-6 against the spread, playing the Clippers last 7 matchups. So I'm probably going to try the Clippers here again and figure that maybe that Celtics game was a bit of a clunker. These two teams met earlier this season. It was an ugly game. The Warriors won it. The Warriors won it 98-79. Their first week of the season, Warriors clubbed the Clippers in an easy under there in that one. 4 of the last 5 meetings between these two teams have gone under. Warriors have gone over in 4 of their last 6. Clippers have gone under in 7 of 17 or 10 of 17 games as a favorite. So I'm going to take the Clippers here in this one over the Warriors on a bounce back. I don't think there's any fluke to the Clippers. Whatever their problems were, maybe they're not solved. Who knows? But that was a good run that you had to think that the Clippers have kind of turned it around here a little bit, despite what happened last game. Okay, here we go. Warriors and Clippers. Zubats to go over. Yeah, he's back too, so that makes a difference. Timmy's on the under. Clippers for a bounce back here to get the win. For Greg, maybe likes it Clippers there. Warriors for Andre, but he does like a double-double in there. Also, LALB liking that Zubats double-double. And don't go against a team who just got blowed out by the Clippers. Wait, never go against a team who just got blown out. Oh, Clippers by 5. Okay. Okay. Under here for LALB. Okay, Mr. Weskers, he knows how to use a semicolon. All right, Kawhi maybe goes off here. Golden State money line for Dak Kush King. Greg says Leonard will score 50. Dak Kush King says the Clippers are not a good team. I would argue against that actually, Dak Kush King. I mean, I think if you look at the Clippers personnel, I mean, it's hard to think. To me, oh, the word is team, though, right? Not a good team. I guess that you could make the statement there that they're not good uh, playing together, right? Maybe that's what Dak Kush King means. I think if you told me, hey, I've got a team for you. You got James Harden, you got Kawhi Leonard, right? You've got um, um, who's in there now? Lopez, Collins, uh, Chris Dunn in there. Look, I like these guys, right? But you're right. Maybe there is a little bit to it here, and we've got some guys injured here right now as well. But all right. Hey, I want to say hello to Real Kev in the chat. I mean, maybe we'll just do it right now. Let me get out of this game and we'll do the football game because Real Kev is here. I don't even have a graphic for it, which on today's card we probably should have, but I'll take the Clippers. Okay, let's get rid of the banner here. Maybe we could just make a banner for the football game. We got Real Kev here. I mean, he's nice enough to come here and talk a little division, FCS football national championship game here tonight. So let's take a look. Let me bring it up. Type in a little. Playing this one at the First Bank Stadium in Nashville, Illinois State versus Montana State. Montana was my pick for the championship, and yeah, Montana State beat them. I knew Montana State was better. I was just rooting for the Grizz. This Illinois State team has really, really done an incredible job here, especially in the playoffs. Who'd they beat? They beat Davis, right? I mean, they have been taking the playoffs by storm, and that 4 losses really doesn't even reflect here how well they've been performing. Let's start to get the comment here from Real Kev. Montana State money line or over and under 57. What's the play? I just think Illinois State's been, look, Montana State has proven themselves to be the best team in the country, maybe worthy of this. I just think Illinois State has played so well. How can they not cover this game? They've just been dynamite here in the postseason. So I feel like 10.5, as good as Montana State is, and yes, they have a little bit of not about history, but they've been the stronger team longer, if you know what I mean. This is a bit of a nice run here for Illinois State coming in. So I think for me, I want to take these points. I may even try to sprinkle a little bit. I might sprinkle a little bit of Illinois State. Maybe sprinkle the first half money line. Might be the key or the answer here in this one. So you got the game here, Illinois State and Montana State coming in. Should be awesome. Should be a game worthy of the national championship here on Monday night. Illinois State beat Villanova 30-14. They beat Davis before that 42-31. Of course, their big win was when they defeated the number 1 seed in this tournament. This is way back. I mean, this is how good Illinois State has been. They were unseeded, beat Southeast Louisiana to open the playoffs, then beat number 1 ranked North Dakota State 29-28. Then they beat the 8 seed Davis. They're unseeded. They're unseeded coming into this game. Montana State, the number 2 seed, beat Montana. They clubbed them 48-23. I took Montana. It was at Montana State. So Montana State also beat Stephen F. Austin 44-28. They beat Abilene 41-34, and they opened they were a team that got a bye in there, of course. So, all right, there you have that. And let's see if there was any plays on this, you guys. I'm going to take the points. All right. I don't know if it is. I don't know if it is, Timmy. I don't know if it is in this Division One. I mean, look at some of these scores. Okay, Illinois State held Villanova to 14 points, but Villanova was also a 12 seed. They came in with upset wins as well. And Villanova, if anything, was a good defense. They held Harvard to 7. They held Lehigh to 7. They held fourth seeded Tarleton to 21. When Illinois State played Davis, 73 points were scored. In the game against North Dakota State, 57 points were scored. I know that's right on the total here, but Montana's semifinal win over Montana, 71 points in that one. The game against Stephen Austin, 72 points there. So, Montana by 8, says Greg. What is the Illinois State money line? Oh, okay. Well, I got to get that for you here. Come on. We got to talk about the Illinois State money line here. What is it? It's plus. Oh, man. My book won't even let me see. I might have to go to a second or third book here. Nobody's willing to post it. Is that right? Let me make sure we got it here. I got to know now. 300, 290, 300, right around there, 3-1. Okay. Illinois State for LALV. Villanova. Oh, I don't know, Greg. Villanova did a great job. I know this. Villanova was a moneymaker this year. I know that for sure. Andre says it 10 or 10 and a half right now. Yeah, let's see what I really has here. I'd say 10. I'll say this. If this is me, I don't know. I don't want to say this is all you need to know because I like the dog, but pretty much 10s everywhere except for the sharp books are 10 and a half. All right. All right. So hope you enjoy that one. Let's keep going right now. I mean, we've only done the NBA so far. Let's go to hockey. Let's go to hockey next, Mr. Weskers. This is a college basketball card. Isn't that great? Although there's a couple of Big Ten games. All right, let's go to it. Anaheim taking on the Capitals here to get us started on the Night Moves show here. All right. The Ducks come in here 21, 17, and 3, but the Ducks are on a losing streak right now, and you wonder if they're just starting to kind of come back down to earth, maybe hitting the wall a little bit of a rugged situation here right now for these Ducks. Struggling here with a losing streak. Currently, they've lost 5 in a row. They're also just 1-5 in their last 6 games against Washington overall, including 4-1. Washington's 4-1 at home against the Ducks coming in. Anaheim's lost 4 of their last 5 games on the road. This is the first game of this road trip. They were losing games at home to San Jose, Tampa Bay, and Minnesota. Washington, meanwhile, off back-to-back losses here in the new year to Ottawa and to Chicago. They've dropped 9 of their last 12 games and 4 of their last 6 games at home. So they've been in a funk here as well. Anaheim's gone over in 7 of their last 8 games coming in. Washington's gone over in 5 of their last 6 games. Anaheim's 12-8 to the over on the road, 16-11 to the over as a dog. It is 6.5 here right now, so it is obviously a high total. And if you guys want to make a comment in the chat on this one, go ahead at 7 Eastern and 4 Pacific between Anaheim and Washington here in this one. All right, I'm going to take the Anaheim Ducks to pull off the upset in this one. Give me Anaheim. I think you can tell I'm pretty fond of the total over as well. But let me take Anaheim as a dog here over Washington. Snap this losing streak. I got to take the Ducks. I got to take the Ducks here in this one. All right. Greg says Caps will rock the Ducks here. Timothy Hawk is on the Caps. Hey, we had thought we had a pretty good day there on in the NHL, right? Let me see. On Night Moves last night, we had the Canadians and the Stars game to go over. I did caution DeAndre taking the Stars, right? I said I think I'm going to be on Montreal there. They've Montreal got the win, and I had the Hurricanes over the Devils, but I went 2-3 last night. So let me make sure I get your picks here on the show. Dostal Caps of Timmy says they'll crush them. Andre, though, going to go with me here in this one. Ovechkin for an anytime goal. And those Ducks over right now says, yeah, I probably should have made that my play, Andre. But, hey, I love attention. I'm going to take the Ducks as an underdog. Next up, Mammoth taking on the Rangers here. You got the Rangers at home. Hey, Rangers are 20-18-5 this season. Utah 19-20-3. The Rangers are coming in off of a win, 6-1, 5-1 over the Rangers at the Outdoor Classic. Meanwhile, Utah lost to New Jersey 4-1 last time out. They beat the Islanders on the road before that, 7-2, third game of the road trip. Here for the Mammoth. The Rangers not great at home. We know they've been better on the road, although they're starting to give it back here a little bit. Rangers, though, just 5-10 straight up at home this season. It's kind of creepy to be so bad when you're, supposed to be a pretty good team like the Rangers. Utah, meanwhile, 6-11 straight up as an underdog. These two teams did play their first meeting. It was at Utah, of course, 3-2. Utah got the win back on November the 23rd. So let's hear from you in this one, maybe with the Mammoth taking on the Rangers here on Monday night hockey. Utah's lost 7 of their last 9 games against the Rangers. That dates back even to the to the Phoenix days a little bit. Utah's lost 4 of their last 6 overall. They've gone under in 4 of their last 5 games on the road. The Rangers have gone under in 8 of their last 10 games at home. Also, the Rangers have gone under in 10 straight non-conference games coming in. Rangers have won 12 of the last 15 meetings at home between these two franchises, although the Rangers have lost 4 of their last 6. Utah is just 3-12 straight up in the last 15 years. They were, of course, Arizona, but have lost 12 of the last 15 years here in New York. Let's go to the chat in this one. And we'll see what we got. Utah for Timmy here. Andre is on the Rangers. And let's see here. Timmy's on the under. Timothy Hawk here likes the under as well. Greg says the Mammoth to get this one. Timmy not a big fan of either team here. LAOB says Mammoth puck line parlay with Dallas on the puck line. That'll get you a little plus 110. Dak Kush King liking the Mammoth here. And no way the Mammoth will lose this game to the Rangers. Yeah, Rangers have had their woes at home here right now. But again, this place where maybe Utah just has not had the success. So I'm actually taking the Rangers here in this one. Give me the Rangers at home, minus $1.20 or so. Next up, the Red Wings are on the road, taking on the Senators. Senators, winners of 2 straight coming in. They beat Washington. They beat Winnipeg. Detroit, meanwhile, with consecutive losses to the Penguins in a home-and-home last time out. For Detroit here, they've actually lost 6 of the last 7 meetings against Ottawa overall. Detroit, though, has won 10 of their last 15 coming in. It was a stronger streak than that until they lost those 2 games to the Red Wings. Detroit's 10-7 on the road this season. Ottawa's 10-7 at home. Ottawa's won 4 of their last 6 at home and 6 of their last 9 games overall. 5 of the last 6 meetings between these two teams have gone under. Detroit's gone under in 8 of their last 12 coming in, although they are 13-8 to the over as a dog, and Ottawa is 18-12 to the over as a favorite. Detroit's gone over in 6 of their last 9 on the road, and Ottawa's gone over in 5 of their last 7 overall. So maybe some conflicting trends there a little bit with the total here, but for me, I've got Ottawa. I know they're $1.45, and I wish there was something I could do about it, but I can't. And I'm going to take them here to win this game. I'm going to lay a little bit of chalk in this one with Ottawa against Detroit here right now. Let me go to the chat, though, see what you have here in this one. Look, Detroit's been playing well. This has just always been a tough spot for them here recently. Let's see what we got. Okay, Andre says, give me the Red Wings here in this one. Dak Kush King, Red Wings puck line. And Greg Gibson likes Gibson here, 3-2. LALB Senators and under. Timothy Hawk is on the over here. Timmy Future says this one could go overtime. All right, let's move on to the next one here. 2 more on the ice. How about the Kraken taking on the Flames here? Kraken 18-14-7, winners of 2 straight. Calgary 18-19-4 had their 3-game winning streak snapped last time out with a 4-3 loss against Washington in regulation in that one. Calgary $1.55 here, total 5.5 over at minus $1.20 or so. Got a Calgary team here that's won 5 of their last 6 at home, 5 of their last 7 overall, but Seattle's been hot. They've won 4 of their last 5 on the road and 6 of their last 7 overall. Now, Calgary has won 11 of the last 16 meetings between these two teams, and 5 of the last 7 meetings between the two teams here in Calgary have gone over. Seattle's gone under in 5 of their last 6 overall. Seattle 15-19 as an underdog this season. Meanwhile, Calgary 12-6 at home. They've been a good home team. It's still a high price against a team like Seattle that's playing pretty well right now. Again, maybe Calgary's owned the series here of late, but do have Seattle finally turning it around here and, need to get going. I mean, Seattle's been, they were fumbling along because they can't score any goals here. And, Calgary, they're kind of underrated defensively. Let's see what you got, though, at home. Let's see what you got here. Andre is on the Flames. And Timmy says, Calgary, Kraken had their fun. Go with Dornato. Greg here says 3-2 Flames. He loves the Flames at home. They usually get it done. I mean, that's a good record, 12-6 for Calgary. They've got to hold serve, right, is what it feels like. And Everly for a point, Backlund for a point, says Timmy. Kraken plus 1.5 for LALB. Timothy Hawk is liking the Flames here. All right, man, that's a big price. That's too big of a price for me, I think, to really get involved there with the Flames. Good as they've been at home. Seattle is 9-7 straight up on the road here. So this is a tough one. Toughest one for me here. Calgary's won 4 straight meetings between these two teams and held Seattle, who can't score, to just 4 goals. I'll kind of want to do it as well. I'll take Calgary here, $1.55. But man, I'm getting chalky here. Even I don't take $1.55s on this show too often, but on a 5-game card, I do want to win. I'm going to go ahead and take Calgary in this one. Yeah, money line Flame. Moneyline Flame. Maybe you'll take a -1 to make it have some gusto in there. One more here on the ice is going to be the Wild taking on the Kings. Wild are 25-10-8. The Kings just 17-14-9 right now. Kings. They're having some issues here. Just 6-14 in their last 20 games at home right now. Dating back to last year, but still just 6-9 this year at home coming in. They've been struggling here of late, having lost 8 of their last 11. Minnesota's won 10 of their last 14. Kings have won 5 of the last 6 meetings, however, here in LA against Minnesota, but man, Minnesota Kings are terrible. At home, the Kings are a money burner for these Kings at home right now. So far this season, the Kings are down 9 units at home this season. Minnesota, meanwhile, on the road, they're up 3 units. I don't know how they can. I got to take Minnesota in this game against my Kings, even though the Kings have dominated at home here 5 of the last 6 games between the two teams of late at Los Angeles. I think the Wild are going to win. I went with all sides here. No totals from me. Oh, well. Minnesota's gone over in 5 straight. They've also gone over in 6 straight on the road. The Kings have gone over in 4 of their last 5 overall, although the Kings are. Is Minnesota now a favorite here? Did I miss a line shift here? It's going to be soon. It's a pick 'em at a lot of spots, and DraftKings has Minnesota the favorite right now. So we'll see right now, but I'm going to go ahead and take Minnesota in this one. I really like this one. What Kings got to solve these problems at home right now. LALB liking the Kings. Greg says the Kings are terrible. Tarasenko anytime goal. Andre says I just like the Kings. That's all. I like the Kings too, Andre. That's why I'm not happy with them. All right. We've got a little bit of college ball here. I think I've got about 4 or 5 or 6 games that I'm going to look at here on the card here. We've got an 18-game card on Monday. How about that? We're unfortunately, I don't think I think we're out of day games here, unless you count 5 Eastern. Okay, here we go. Let's take a look here right now. Let's go to the college ranks, and we'll start with that early game at 5 Eastern and 2 Pacific with Columbia on the road taking on Cornell. In this one, Columbia in here off of a win. Let's get some Ivy League action, huh? Columbia here off of win over North Florida, 90-82. They have failed to cover here in their last 3 games overall have the Lions. Meanwhile, for Big Red, they come in here off of a loss to Michigan State, 114-97. But I said going into that game, Cornell's offense is legit. I believe they are. It's just that their defensive numbers are not good. But Cornell is 3rd in the country in scoring offense here right now. Really good numbers. They are a really good shooting team, top 5 shooting team inside the arc, a top 20 shooting, top 15 maybe now here top 15 inside the arc, top 5 from 3-point range this season. That's how good this Cornell offense has been. So now Cornell is 4-8 against the spread in their last 4-8 against the spread so far. Here in their this season, they're also just 2-4 straight up in their last 6 games. They did beat Albany 83-75, but lost to teams like Samford, Towson, and George Mason. They're scoring, but those other teams scored more in those games. But can you really put a fellow Ivy League team? Columbia is 11-3. I mean, they are right now, right there as a top contending team for the Ivy League title here this year. I think right now, if you look at the what could be expected in the Ivy League, coming into the league campaign here, these are the openers. So I think Yale is number 1, Columbia probably number 2, and Cornell number 3 right now. Maybe Harvard after that, and maybe Penn. It's pretty good. The funny thing is Princeton is at the bottom here, actually coming in, right? So see what you want to do here. Seems like a really good game to start the season here in the Ivy League. I want to hear from you in the chat. Hey, only I can fire up the Ivy League here on any of these YouTube shows and make it sound like the game of the year. Let's see what you have in this one. See what the trends say as well. I think we covered some of those trends right there. But let's see some others here. Maybe 5 of the last 6 meetings between these two teams have gone under. Columbia just 1-6 against the spread. Their last 7 games against Cornell, and Cornell is favored in this game. So Columbia's gone over in 6 of their last 8. Cornell's, of course, gone over in 6 of their last 7. I mean, it is 170 here. These Ivy League guys, they figure out in their head, they've got all this geometry on how to make those backdoor cuts. All right, Cornell money line on the under. Greg liking Cornell here. Princeton's terrible, says Andre. Yeah. All right. LALB on the under as well. The guys aren't trusting this big total here with these two. I thought it was going to be even 90 to 80 is barely getting there, right? So, all right. Columbia's been off to a great start. Cornell seems like they only do it on offense here, but the other thing, like I said, the thing with the thing with Columbia coming in, they, like I said, right now, you got to consider them right there near the top of the Ivy League standings. Cornell's been great. I think the defense is just too bad. I'm going to take Columbia in this game. Give me Columbia on the road here against Cornell. But, man, I have to think it's going to be maybe an over. Let's see here. Any others? Greg says the spread should be more for Cornell. Like I said, Columbia is 11-3. Yeah, maybe an easy schedule, but look, they beat North Florida, Albany, Hofstra here of late. What's Columbia's best win of the season so far? They lost to Connecticut. They lost to Connecticut by 27. Their best win, probably that Albany win here. They also had a couple of non-Division I wins, but they beat Fairfield. They beat Longwood, scored 106 against Fairfield, scored 95 against Longwood. How'd this game against Boston U, 54-49? How'd that happen? That was a stunner. All right. Let's go to the next one here now. I'll take Columbia. All right, we got a great one here, though, no doubt about it. Nebraska. Everybody's talking Nebraska now. Let's see what happens when the rankings come out. When the polls come out. Did it already come out? Did it come out tonight already? You've got Nebraska here ranked 13th. They just won in that big game against Michigan State to improve to 14-0. They failed to cover in each of their last 3 games, including the Michigan State game. Now, I did call it a push, but the eventual line was 2.5. We had it as 2 on the show, but still, Michigan State lost that game, but Nebraska was favored by 2.5 at home. So Michigan State actually got the money in that game. For Ohio State, meanwhile, they're coming in off of a win over Rutgers, 80-73, but they didn't cover. Ohio State is just 3-7 against the spread as a favorite of this season. Now, Nebraska's only been an underdog 1 time this season, and they did cover. They did win, obviously, won and covered in that game. It was at Illinois. They were a 9.5-point dog against the Illini. They won 83 to 80. Nebraska's covered 6 of the last 7 meetings against the Buckeyes, despite the fact that they've lost 12 of the last 17 to Ohio State overall. Ohio State comes in here 10-3 straight up so far this season, but like I said, they have not been a good favorite. 4 of the last 5 meetings between these two teams have gone over. Ohio State's gone over in 4 of their last 6, but Nebraska's gone under here in 7 of their last 8 games overall. The game against Illinois, when they were an underdog, that one was an over result. So let's see what you have here with these two. When the teams met here in Columbus last season, it was 116 to 114 in double overtime. So it was a thriller. Ohio State got the win in that one. They led in that game early and had to come back or had to fight off a comeback and then sent the game into double overtime eventually, with Ohio State winning that one. So this is the game of the night for sure, and I want to hear from you in the chat. 6:30 Eastern, 3:30 Pacific time for this one, and it's on FS1. See what you have here with these two, Nebraska and Ohio State. Got some comments from the chat. Ohio State on the money line, says Andrew. And okay, hard to win on the again. It's hard to win on the road. Not anymore. Nebraska's better at home. Greg says take them. Yeah, this is only Nebraska's. I mentioned the game against Illinois. That was Nebraska's only other road game, only other true road game so far this season was that game. So definitely have to consider that a little bit. Now they did play some tournament ball in there. Played Oklahoma on a neutral, and then they went to a weekend tournament and beat New Mexico and Kansas State. So they did win 3 other games away from home, but the Illinois game was their first game in an opponent's gym, if you know what I mean. So, but Ohio State is just 4-6 against the spread at home so far. LAOB likes the over here in this one. Boy, it's a good game here on Monday. String of victories here right now for Nebraska. For Ohio State, their losses were to Pitt and also to North Carolina and also to Illinois. They lost against Illinois at home 88-80. So how's that? Nebraska beat Illinois on the road. Ohio State lost to Illinois here in Columbus. So I don't know. That might be a little bit telling here, I think. But still, I mean, Nebraska, they've had obviously some good teams have continued to get better and better, it feels like, and maybe this is a culmination here of what we're finally expecting from. I don't know about expecting, but this is what they've been built up, it feels like, here with Nebraska. All right. Hey, I better make my call here in this one with Ohio State and Nebraska. I'm on Nebraska. Here, give me the Cornhuskers on the road. I'll take 2.5 points. All right. What is Greg saying in there? Texas. All right, let's move on here. I got a few more here on the card. Where are these games I've got here? Oh, here we go. All right, we got William and Mary. Don't sleep on this one, you guys. William and Mary taking on College of Charleston here. I got some tidbits on this game. You got College of Charleston here, 2.5, 162.5 here with this matchup. You got College of Charleston coming in here 9-8, but they're on a winning streak here right now. And William and Mary's 11-3. They're on a 3-game winning streak. William and Mary with wins over Stony Brook, Towson, and Radford. They're on a cover streak right now. Are the Tribe. William and Mary here with a pretty good run coming into this one. Meanwhile, for the College of Charleston here and their winning streak right now, they beat Elon and covered. They beat Drexel here and covered. They beat Northern Kentucky and covered as well. So great run here for College of Charleston coming in. Real good. Now, I'll tell you this, there have been some, take a look at the spread records here for William and Mary. They're probably the best in the country right now. They are 11-3 overall, but two of those games, let me get the matchup right here, make sure we get the trend right here. So they have losses to Richmond and to St. John's, but they are 11-1 against the spread so far this season. The one loss, I believe, I think the spread loss was to St. John's. So, been a great run here for William and Mary as one of the best spread teams in the country right now. They're also 6-1 against the spread on the road and 5-1 against the spread as an underdog, and they're an underdog here to this the Charleston program that year in and year out. Charleston, pretty good program here. So let's see what you have here. This one, Bill and Mary taking on College of Charleston here. Can William and Mary kind of keep it up? Last year, William and Mary ended a long losing streak to Charleston. They won at home last February, 90-75, and the only meeting between the two teams there is William and Mary put up 90 points. They were a 1.5-point dog in that one at home. All right. William and Mary here for Andre. Greg likes Charleston in this one. And LALB's liking that over as well. Yeah, College of Charleston is just 2-5 to the under as a favorite here, but just feels like this William and Mary situation feels pretty real. Charleston is 4-4 against the spread at home. Greg is on Charleston here. It does, look, this is still Charleston, man. They're a good team and a good program here, obviously. So, all right, for me, though, I got to take William and Mary to keep it up here right now. They've been a terrific spread team. I think they can hang in here. Let's take William and Mary in this one. All right, let me see here. Oh, we got some other Big Ten action here with Oregon taking on Rutgers here. Oregon coming in just 8-6 right now. Rutgers 7-7 coming into this one. Oregon, though, has won 2 straight with wins over Omaha and a conference win over Maryland on the road last time out. So they've been traveling here from Maryland, and they'll take on Rutgers here a few days later. Oregon beat Maryland 64-54 on the road as a 2.5-point favorite. They're favored by 6 here. Rutgers, meanwhile, lost to Ohio State, as we mentioned, 80-73, but Rutgers got the money in that one. Ironically, though, Rutgers was on a spread losing streak. They were failing to cover in several games there. Failed against Michigan, failed against Seton Hall, failed against Penn, failed against Delaware State. The last two against Penn and Delaware were wins, but Rutgers has lost 7 of their last 10. They're just 1-5 against the spread in their last 6 games and 1-7 against the spread in their last 8 games at home. They're also 1-6 against the spread in their last 7 conference games dating back to last season. Oregon, meanwhile, has won 4 of their last 5, and they've covered here now in 5 straight games, including covers against Omaha as a win. They covered against Gonzaga. Not everybody does that right now. They only lost by 9 at home to the Zags. A little bit of a regional game there, and Gonzaga, they beat up everybody else by 40. Except for Seattle. And they clobbered Portland, covered 20. They covered against Davis, laying 13.5, beat them by 38. So, man, Rutgers going to have to turn it around. It feels like big time to even compete here. Oregon's gone over in 8 of their last 12, including 4 of their last 5 games on the road. Let's see what you have here with Oregon taking on Rutgers here on Monday night. This one's at 7 Eastern and 4 Pacific from the rack. Okay, here we go. Rutgers for Timmy Chushu. Andre likes Oregon on the money line. And Rutgers will do it for the ladies. Greg says he's got Oregon winning this one, and that's an over big time right there. Timmy says Rutgers with 6 points feels like the play. Oh, really? Gosh, man. So is LALB. LALB also likes it over, but Andre likes it under here a little bit. Oregon is 1-3 to the under on the road. Rutgers 4-7 to the under at home. Greg says Rutgers and the over here. I'm going to go ahead and take this one to go under between Oregon and Rutgers. I think you might know if what I like on the side, but you guys are kind of going on Rutgers, so I'll go ahead and take the total under here with Oregon and Rutgers. Yeah, I got to cover this one, man. Stephen F. Austin up against McNeese. This is sounds like a big game right now in the Southland. Let's see what's going on here with this one between SFA and McNeese here with the Southland. We're well underway here in the Southland. But if Stephen F. Austin comes in here 5-0 already in conference play, believe it or not, McNeese, meanwhile, does have a loss. They lost to Incarnate Word in an upset in the season opener, in the league opener. So they actually come in here behind the 8 ball a little bit. Even Nichols is 5-0, and I think McNeese was probably, the favorite here. They're probably still the favorite to win this league. It feels like right now, doesn't it? You got to think McNeese and Stephen F. Austin are the top 2 teams in the league coming in, but Nichols has done a pretty good job so far, and Incarnate Word is probably the 4th team here in this conference. But this feels like one of the 2 biggest games of the season in the Southland Conference. So got to talk about this one. Stephen F. Austin's 12-2. McNeese comes in here 11-3. McNeese is probably not the same McNeese as they were last year. In fact, Stephen F. Austin, I say that, but they're still probably rated higher than Stephen F. Austin. It's just been a great run here for SFA. Not only are they 10-2, 12-2 straight up, 10-2 against the spread. Now McNeese, meanwhile, 11-3, still 7-5 against the spread, but 5-1 against the spread at home for the Cowboys coming into this one. So they're still, I guess, against maybe similar ilk. Is that fair to say that maybe they can be pretty strong here still at home? These 2 teams met last year here at McNeese, and it was 79-59. McNeese covered 15.5, and McNeese won the game on the road 95-64 as a 13.5 point favorite. That McNeese team was better than this McNeese team, although, I don't know if I would say drastically better. This is a little bit of a program going on here with McNeese, even though part of their formula last year was, heavy transfer. They're getting players. They're getting players here, at McNeese. I think that's kind of their big thing right now. So let's hear what you have to say in the chat with these 2. SFA is definitely an under team so far. They're 3-9 to the under so far this season. I want to hear from you. This is a great game. So it's on ESPN Plus. Right, here we go. In the Southland. All right, we've got, let's see here. Greg says, McNeese, I think he likes SFA there, and that total's right on there. Also, SFA covers, McNeese wins. LALB, he's ready to go to the last game already. He takes SFA here. SFA in the over for Greg. Too many points. Take the points with Stephen F. Austin. For sure. Greg, I mean, how do you not take Stephen F. Austin here? I think, look, I'm talking about McNeese like you guys know about McNeese and what they did last year and how good they are. And I think they're the name team, technically, right? If you think of what they did last year, even their postseason, it just feels like that's the name team, right? Is McNeese here? Remember, I mean, uh, last year's incredible season. Remember the incredible win over Clemson in the playoff. And remember, they were even giving Purdue a little bit of a game in that game. So that's how good they were. Now, I just compared it. I'm looking here a little Ken Palm action. So last year, McNeese already had, by this date, 5 losses. Before they went into conference play, now they were playing a little bit of a tougher schedule. They lost to teams like Mississippi State, Santa Clara, Liberty, Alabama there. So they had 5 losses by this time last year. Now, they didn't play as tough of a schedule, but you know who one of their losses was to so far was that Michigan game. They didn't perform well. And the Incarnate Word game, and then Santa Clara. Some of their notable wins are George Washington, Murray State, and Middle. So, okay. McNeese first half, then SFA can cover. Greg said, you can't go by last year's results. Oh, yes, you can. Yes, you can. You definitely can go by last year's results. Make no mistake. All right. Going to take SFA here. All right, let's get to that game you guys were asking about. It has to be considered to be a pretty hot game here for sure between SC and Michigan State. How about this one, guys? Both teams come in here 12-2. USC's ranked 24th. Michigan State's ranked 9th coming in. Like I said, I haven't seen the rankings here yet this week, but you got to wonder. I mean, Michigan State, of course, lost to Nebraska on the road, as we mentioned. That stopped their winning streak. The funny thing is they weren't covering any spreads. They were on a winning streak, but they weren't covering any spreads. USC, meanwhile, lost to Michigan 96-66. They got the blows. They got the blows dorn off them. Everyone's losing to Michigan by big points, but USC win and cover over UTSA, who's been proven to be a pretty good team. They covered 25. They did fail against Washington State. They failed against USD, but those were both victories. USC does come in here 3-6 ATS in their last 9 games overall. This is only the second time SC's been an underdog so far this season. Michigan State's just 4-7 against the spread at home so far this season. Let's hear from you guys in this one between USC and Michigan State. This one's at 8:30 Eastern, 5:30 Pacific. Man, the sports college card ended early here in this one, huh? I know what I'm going with here. I'm going with a total. I'm going over. There's not a lot of trends, and I don't think that point to the over in this one. Let's see what we got. SC's gone over in 6 of their last 8 games overall. They're also they went under in their only game in that underdog role against Michigan. That one did go under 165. It was 173.5. I don't know if you can compare Michigan to anybody right now, right? Michigan State's gone under in 13 of their last 18 games dating back to last year. They're 4-7 to the under at home. I'm going over. I'm going over in this one. USC is 1-7 in their last 8 games against the spread on the road, dating back to last season right now. But Michigan State does not have a spread cover here other than the Nebraska game, if you call it that. They had failed, I believe, 4 or 5 in a row. I think they had a push in there as well. I'm going to take the over in this one with USC and Michigan State. And I believe the show is over. Thank you, everybody. We had a really great time to spend. Man, did we take 2 hours on this card? I know I talk a little bit slower when we have a smaller card, but I'm sorry, you guys. Great show, though, anyway. Michigan State is no Michigan. Michigan State money line. USC covers too many points, and the under says Andre. And maybe the team total there, says Timmy Chushu. Greg says Michigan State to bounce back here and get a win and a cover. Looks like going over. Andre says USC been in Michigan too long. They're ready to come back home. Greg says he's mad about Nebraska game. Michigan State's mad about it. That was a good game. All right, head on over to Tony'sPicks.com. Check out the promo code, or use the promo code TonyT at checkout. Save 15% off those premium pick packages, including mine. Here on Monday, I'll be going with some college basketball. It looks like for sure again. Can't believe I did not have a good day here on the site in college basketball. I mean, this is supposed to be my strong point here. But check me out over at Tony'sPicks.com and get rolling here this season. I'm having a run in the NBA and look at my college football here, 12-5. Also had some soccer winners here over the last month or so. And with what's our Monday fixtures even look like here? I did even check. Although I do see here, I've got on my screen the A-League game is just ending here between Auckland and MacArthur. Anybody? Tomorrow we've got it's an off day here on Monday. We've got just a game in championship, a couple games in the African Cup of Unders there, and that's pretty much it for Monday. So not a lot of great soccer. Thanks everybody for joining me here on the show. We'll be back tomorrow with more night moves here on the Tony's Picks YouTube channel. Don't forget, join Tony and his panel early on tomorrow with the Tony's Picks Morning Show. Get you ready for the action. Then you've got the Daily Dangle. Rod will be hosting the soccer show, the hockey show here with the 5-game card. Then, of course, joins you with the happy hour at 5 Eastern, 2 Pacific. So we got you covered here. And don't forget, Vegas Al joins you at midnight Eastern, 9 Pacific with the look ahead. We got great programming here on the Tony's Picks YouTube channel. That's going to do it for me here. And really appreciate everyone hanging out with me here for a couple of hours talking sports and sports betting. Can't wait to get back with you here tomorrow. You really make me come back every time. So Andre is ready for the tennis season. Me too, Andre. I think just here, for me early on here, just wanted to see some action here in with some of the matches at Brisbane. I know we got all the stars playing here. I'm watching the United Cup stuff here right now. So that's been kind of the focus, it feels like, for everyone early on. But we've obviously had a couple of great days of results in the Brisbane tournament. Maybe I'm ready to fire it up tomorrow, especially here at Tony's Picks. I plan on crushing the tennis this year. So, all right. That's going to do it. Appreciate it. See you next time tomorrow. Man, I went to hang out with you guys here. We had a great audience, 5 dozen of you here tonight on the Tony's Picks YouTube channel. For Tony'sPicks.com, I'm Ramon Scott. So long from Night Moves.